this evening, I will be covering all of those so you can really understand why all of those steps are essential and why they are important. As you may know, that we are going to be having different sessions which are going to be tackling in more details all of those themes. So let's jump right into it. So the case study is actually African restaurant. Actually, I'm fond of African food. Those who know me knows that I love to eat and I love to eat good food. And I have this idea that I want to create an African restaurant because, hey, we don't have any African restaurant here. And most of the time, my friends would tell me, well, you can work in the restaurant. We're coming back to the meat of the matter. We have our idea, and it is important from the very beginning that we take the time to define and understand our business idea, as into what am I going to sell? Is it a product? Is it a service? Who am I going to sell? Where am I going to sell? How am I going to sell, and how am I going to create value? So this is the very important point when you're starting your business journey, because your idea, you probably got your sister, your aunt who told you, hey, this is a brilliant idea, but now you need to define in more details this idea. So you have different tools that can help you to define your idea. And I'm going to talk about the business model. What is the business model? It's going to help you to describe how your organization is going to create, deliver, and capture value. And in other words, how am I going to make money? And the process of the business model construction and modification is also called the business model innovation and form part of your business strategy. I will not go in more details because on Thursday, we have a presentation on the business model. So make sure that you definitely register for that. So once you've taken the time, you identify your idea, and I'm going to use again my study case, which is my restaurant. I'm going to be providing a service, a food service. Who am I going to be selling to? Clients who come to my restaurant. Where am I going to be selling? So I'm thinking that I want to establish my restaurant in Green Cots because it's the capital, the gastronomic capital of St. Martin, and there is no African restaurant up there. How am I going to create value? Well, I'm going to be providing a service, and it's the amount of meals that I actually sell, and that is going to make me make money. But now I need to continue fine-tuning the different details of that, and the business model is going to help me to do that. Now, let's say that I finished, I'm done. I define my business model. So now it is important now for me to see the suitability with my project. So I want to open a restaurant. What is my motivation and determination for that business? I can say, hey, I'm participating in this webinar this evening. So, hey, I am definitely motivated because I am taking the time out. I could have been anywhere this evening, but I am taking the time out to come and listen to this session because I am motivated and I am determined that I definitely want to open this African restaurant. There are applications online that you can use. I will mention them just now, that you can actually use to be able to, estimate your motivation and determination. So back to suitability with your project. So you need to assess your motivation and your determination. Then skills and abilities. You need to know, pertaining accordingly to your activity, what are your skills and your abilities? I'm going to take the example or study case, which is the restaurant. Am I a chef today? Do I have the competencies of being able to cook? Because I definitely can cook at home, but can I cook for 60 persons one night? Do I even know what are the requirements? What are the hygienes, the rules pertaining to manipulating food items? I personally don't. So therefore, I would need to make that assessment as in what are the requirements that I need in order to get that skill. If I don't have them, will I need to probably hire someone to do so? Or maybe one of my partners have that skill, so therefore I can rely on them for that. Also an assessment on my personal qualities and what are my weaknesses. Today, I'm venturing into a restaurant activity. So restaurant, customer service, do I like to interact with people? Yes, I do. That means that, okay, as a restaurant, it would require that I get up early in the morning to be able to prepare the meals for the service for lunch and then the service for the evening. I'm not a morning person, so how am I going to do that? So I would need to work for that. If my motivation and my determination is at 100%, I will definitely need to work on that. As we all know here, all persons here this evening know that entrepreneurship is not a 9 to 5. It is a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So I would need to work on those weaknesses that I have. Then the other assessment that I need to do pertaining to my suitability is, am I alone, or will I be creating my business alone, or do I have partners with me? And in the event that I do have partners with me, it will require then that I see that we also do the suitability assessment to see what is everyone's skills and abilities, what are their personal qualities and weaknesses, and how we can merge all of them in order to be able to meet the suitability of our project. Once we've done that assessment, we ensure that, hey, I know that I need to do a training. I need to do the training for the permis d'exploitation that the chamber conducts. I need to do the hygiene also, because, hey, if I'm going to be in a kitchen manipulating food items, I need to know what are the regulations, how to keep the ingredients, how to cold them, how to take. So all of those regulations, I would need to do that in order to meet the requirements of my business activity and my project. So let's say that I've done all of this. Now, the market analysis, which is fundamental and which is going to allow you to move towards the other steps of your journey. A lot of person comes at the chamber and say, hey, I'm going to take the restaurant activity again. I want to open a restaurant. All right. What is the market looks like? They have no idea. So it is important, fundamental, that you carry out, that you do a market analysis, and what that market analysis is. Because for a lot of persons, it's like, oh my God, this is going to make me waste time. That means that I have to go and do research, and I don't have the time. I will admit that it takes time, but the time is going to take the amount of time that you actually going to dedicate to doing that. You can carry out a sturdy market in a week. So that research, the delay is going to depend on your determination and the dedication that you give to it. So what is the market analysis? It's simply the market research that is an organized effort where you're going to gather information about the target market and customers, as in you need to know about your clients, starting with who they are, what they like, what are their revenues. So this market analysis is going to help you to verify the existence and accessibility of the market. As in my case, I want to open an African restaurant. So I need to know, okay, how many restaurants. First of all, is there any African restaurant in the market in St. Martin? I need to know also how many restaurants, how many Caribbean restaurants is there serving local foods is there in the market, and how am I going to introduce and place myself on the market? That is very much important. This market analysis is also going to help me to determine the assumptions of turnover. A lot of time, entrepreneurs decide, hey, I'm going to create that business and I'm going to make money. What are the guarantees that you have? if you don't even know the market, you just come with the assumption that, hey, my cousin tell me that if I open a car rental, they're going to rent cars for me. Or if my friend tell me that she know people who just come often, but what guarantee do you have? You need to know, determine the assumption of turnover. Another thing, another objective that is going to help you to define your commercial and marketing strategy, as in how you are going to place yourself, how you're going to strategize in order to meet your target, meaning your customers. So what strategy, how are you going to make the offer and the demand meet? So in that analysis, there are three aspects that you need to analyze, which is the environmental aspect, as in to know what are the regulations and the legislation within the framework of your activity, what are the opportunities and threats to your activity, to your new business also. The customer analysis is going to help you to understand what are the needs, what are the consuming habits within the market for your activity, what are the revenues of your customers also. This is going very much important to know, okay, what is your price, what price are you going to be able to apply, and what also is the lifestyle. I'm going to take my example again of the restaurant. I need to know, okay, are persons seeking for different idea or different options of restaurant? I need to know what is their consuming habit. How many times do they go to the restaurant, or do they only go to the restaurant when it's an occasion? I need to know what is their revenue. Are they willing to spend also when they go to the restaurant, and what is their lifestyle? So that is very important for me to be able to strategize. How am I going to place myself on the market? Another area that you need to analyze is the competitors. And a lot of businesses in St. Martin don't do that step within the first phases of their business journey, as in understanding who are my direct competitors, who are my indirect competitors. I'm going to take again the study case. In my case, which is the restaurant, the African restaurant, my direct competitors today, I would say that I don't have any, but my direct competitors are actually all of the Caribbean restaurant who provides all of the persons who actually provide Caribbean kind of flavor food. My indirect competitors would be those other restaurants who have on their menu perhaps African meal on their menu. So they will be my indirect competitors. And I need to know what are their products and prices also that they provide. So that is very fundamental, and it's a fundamental phase for your business, and which will be implemented in your business plan. Persons who are going to be interested in your business, they need to understand that first of all, you are very knowledgeable about your market and the industry in which you are going in. And they also see, hey, that there is a profit for me to actually tag on in this project. So it's very much important that you do this phase of your journey. So continuing in the marketing analysis, so how some persons are going to ask, okay, how do we go about this? So again, the market analysis is going to allow you to get a profound knowledge of your particular market and provide an explanation on why that market is enticing from a financial perspective. And this part, as I mentioned just now, is going to be scrutinized carefully by potential investors or financiers, because they need to know, okay, if I'm going to finance this project, I need to ensure that, hey, there is a market for that, and that it will be a profitable project. So you need to be able to showcase that. And what it is basically information that you are going to collect and you're going to present in your business model. How you're going to collect the information, you can work with existing economic studies. You have INSEE, Institut National de la Statistique et des Études Économiques, which is an organization who actually collects data on a national level. So they carry out a tremendous amount of studies. So you can actually look up for studies that they probably have already made within your sector and see if you can actually collect information for that. The challenge that we have on St. Martin is that it is very much difficult to collect data. So you will have to probably work with outdated economic studies that were carried out, or you can contact any businesses actually that does those kind of studies. You also have, I listed a few in my presentation. You have the chambers, you have BPI Création also. Those are institutions who carries out and can carry economic studies also. You can also carry out a survey among your suppliers, very much important because you need to know what are the prices that are practiced, what are the financial conditions also, and what is the rule of the industry. You also need to carry out the survey by your competitors. As I said just now, you can request estimate from them, brochure, visit their website also, to see a little bit how they are positioned on the market, how they are reaching out also to their clientele, see what prices that they are also proposing. Another area that you need that you can also analyze for your market is your potential clients. You can analyze your clients' expectation and needs by simply carrying out a survey. Lots of time, I'm pretty sure that most of you present here have already received a survey saying, hey, I'm conducting a study to know what is your dining habits, and you just have to answer questions. Or you receive what is your gym practice, to know how many times you go to the gym. So those are the type of surveys that you can carry out, and is going to allow you to understand the market and see if there is really a need for the service that you are going to propose. My tip is to conduct your own market search as far as possible, whether maybe you're planning, in my case, I am planning on opening the restaurant in Green Cars area. So I'm not going to limit, I don't want to limit my market analysis only to the Green Cars area, taking into consideration that St. Martin market is a small one. So I would want to actually branch it out to Marigot, to the entire island actually, to know what are the habits. So I encourage you to do so, because you need to know that the competitive advantage is never given, actually, you have to take it. So the more information and more knowledge that you have about the market is definitely going to help you to better position yourself on that said market. Now that you have all your data information for the market and for your market, you're now able to define what will be your marketing strategy, work on your marketing strategy. And the marketing strategy, what is it? Well, your marketing strategy will, my connection is stable. Oh, so your marketing strategy will be defined by the 4 P's, which are the pillars of the marketing mix, sorry. So you're going to focus on your product, on the place, on the price, and the promotion. The marketing mix actually consists of a combination of factors that your business can control and can influence actually the consumers to purchase your product or your service. So this is why, by strategically manipulating those factors and of course continually to optimize them, your business will continue to better serve and reach out to your target customers. So as you can see here on the picture, you have already identified what is your target market, and you need to work on those 4 P's on how you are going to manipulate them again so you can actually reach them, so they can come. In my case, I have a restaurant. I will definitely need to fine tune the place, the promotion, how I'm going to reach out to that segment of clientele, the prices that I'm also going to be applying, because that is going to be an important factor, and also my product. In my case, is a service. So I know it will be an African restaurant, so I will need to ensure that that product is appealing to my target market. As a reminder, we will be having next week a presentation on the marketing strategy where you will be getting more details on how you can go about to define your marketing strategy. So now we understand our market. We know what will be our marketing strategy. And now the very important part, all of the steps are important, but this part, with my experience at the chamber, entrepreneurs seem to oversee that step. And that is one of the main reasons why you hear, yeah, the banks don't want to lend me money, or it's complicated. But the financial projection, because again, I'm trying here to demystify all the different steps of opening a business. They're pretty much simple, I would say, but it's a matter of discipline and taking the time out to really outline all of those steps. The financial projection, it's in simple form, it's the financial projection, it's the forecast of your future revenues and your expenses. In general, what you need to do in the steps of creating your business, you need to develop both short-term and mid-term financial projection. A short-term projection will account for the first year of your new business, normally outlined month by month. What is your expenses and your revenues? And the mid-term financial projection typically is going to account for the following 2 or 3 years of your business, outlining year by year. So this is the development part of your business. And why is it important? In order to get the attention of your account manager, your bank, the investors, and get funding, it's important that you have a realistic financial projection incorporated into your business plan. I know that projection can be kind of tricky. A lot of times entrepreneurs said that, but I don't know what figures to put. What the projection is helping you to do, it's helping you to anticipate. It's helping you to anticipate the expenses while also predicting how quickly your business is going to grow. And with a quick outline and some forethought about it, you can easily get a handle on your business financial projection. And I'm stressing on that because I know I have friends who are in the banking fields, and most of the time they tell me persons come to the bank wants to get a loan or they want to open a bank account, and that is mainly the issue. The financial projection is, again, it's important because it gives you a look at how your company is going to perform in the near future. So the projection is important to both you as the business owner, but also to the potential investors, because it allows them to predict whether or not the business will grow and will be profitable. So when you're going to be outlining your financial projection, there will be 2 important documents that you will outline and that you will use in your business plan. The first one is the financial plan. What does that help you to do? It helps you to estimate the financial resources to start your activity. The second one is the income statement, which is going to help you to ensure the financial profitability of your business, to know, hey, at the start, is my business profitable? And the third document is the cash flow plan. This helps you to organize how you are registering your incomes and your disbursement monthly. Very much important, those 3 documents. A lot of time persons just oversee that step because it requires that you probably have the method to do so, or they don't know how to go about it. And they feel that if they go by an accountant or professional, is going to cost them a whole lot of money, which is not true. And at the end of my presentation, I will be presenting a tool that helps you actually to build all of those steps that I am currently presenting. So now that presenting the 3 financial summary document, I'm just going to go through quickly on the 3 documents. So I mentioned the first one, which is the financial plan. The objective of that document, the financial plan, is to help you to determine the amount of financial resources that you're going to need to start up your business for year 1 and for development year 2 and 3. So basically, what you need to gather is, what does my company need financially? And needs, you can have the fees to start operating, whether it's your website, the registration fee. In my case, for instance, I'm going to need a place. So I'm going to have to rent a venue. So therefore I would have to, and I have to encounter that in my needs. I'll have to advance, of course, the money to be able to pay my landlord. Investment, I would probably need also to renovate and equip my restaurant with furnitures. So also those investments. So you will have intangible, tangible, and financial investment, which are very much important. And I need to know how much this is costing me to start my business, even before I register my business. I cannot register and then I'm going to find myself wondering, hey, oh, but I need to renovate. Oh, but I needed to do a website. Or I need to buy a registration machine. Or I need to buy a credit card machine. I need to have all those information beforehand and be able to project myself financially. And the other part of the financial part, so you're going to have the resources. You need to be able to assess what are my needs, and also what are my resources that I have at my disposal. Whether it may be personal contribution, and I believe that is something that I tell a lot of entrepreneurs, and sometimes they say, yeah. I believe if I am going to create a project for a business project, which is my personal project, I should have at a minimum a personal contribution that I can produce and that I can actually inject in my business. And it's also a good look when you approach the bank, when you approach investors, that they see that you can also finance some part of your project. It shows some kind of credibility also. If you're going to request honorary loan or bank loan, also you need to establish how much you will need for your project. And you will only be able to outline how much you need if you know how much you need. Actually, you only be able to put that in the resources if you outline what is everything that you need for your business. And then you have love money. What is love money? Love money is money that a family member actually, who probably wants to invest in your business and wants to actually give you, or you have a godfather, or you have a generous friend who just wants to invest in your business. So you can also consider that in your resources. The other document, which is the income statement. The income statement actually shows revenues, expense, and profit for a particular period. But in the startup, it's developing your projection is actually going to help you to see if your business will be can actually make up for the different expenses by the amount of money that is going to generate. So basically, the income statement will, from the get-go, is going to help you to see if your business is going to be profitable. Of course, it's going to be profitable. So what you need to outline is your expenses versus your revenue. And when you're going to do the calculation, expenses minus revenue, if the amount that you have is minus, it means that your business it will not be profitable, is a loss. So that is where you now need to make adjustments as to either reduce your expenses or increase your sales. And we will have a presentation on that in 2 weeks, where you're going to be going into details of how to maneuver and outline your income statement. And the last and final projection document is the cash flow projection. That cash flow projection actually is going to help you to decide when is a good time to invest cash in your business, or if it's time to save. The cash flow can also demonstrate to a loan officer that you are a good credit risk and you can pay back your loan. So it is very much important that you organize, that you have a projection on how you are organizing your monthly cash income and your disbursement over the 12 months. And as I mentioned, you will also do that for the 2-3 years. So on the screen, you have a presentation of how you can present it. It is not a defined presentation, but you also have application to help you to do that. Then now that you understand what are the 3 summary documents for the financial projection, in your resources, you might need financial assistance. And in the financial assistance, you have a plethora of options that are at your disposal. I only mentioned a few, but it will be important for you to take down the link that is on this slide, which is going to give you a very detailed presentation of almost all of the national assistance. So you have the Pôle emploi. If you are a job seeker today, registered by the Pôle emploi, you can benefit from financial assistance, which you have the AS. You have the AS is actually a social financial assistance where you can actually request that your indemnisation, the money, the financial support that you get monthly from the Pôle emploi, you can request that as a capital to inject in your business. Then you have the AC, which is another support, which is going to allow you, but that's of course if you are registered by the Pôle emploi, is going to allow you to benefit from lower social tax system. You also have the PEAGE, which is a grant for young persons, young entrepreneurs aged between 18 to 30. So this is not a loan. So it is a very, I would say, it's an advantage for the young ones. You can get the minimum will be between, the minimum is 4,000 and it can go up to 9,000, all depends again of your financial projection. You have also the Collectivité de Saint-Martin. You have Initiative Saint-Martin and ADI, those are loans. You also have European funds that are not mobilized enough on our territory, and there are funds for new business projects. So I encourage you who are here this evening to go on their website and see. You also have a special tab on the Collectivity page where you can get a full presentation of those funding. Another fund that you have is your local bank. Yes. So again, we know that banks are going to scrutinize your business plan, ensure that your market analysis shows actually that it is a profitable market in which you're entering, that your marketing strategy is defined accordingly to that market analysis, and it shows that you will be able to meet your customer target based on your marketing strategy that you're going to outline, and that your financial projection is actually credible. So do not hesitate also to reach out to your bank if you need to actually access to financial support. The next part actually is the legal assessment. So the trend by experience, the trend is I come at the chamber and I want to register my business. So I want to register as a SASU because my brother is registered in a SASU, and he told me that when you're registered there, you don't have no social security to pay. And I'm going to tell you that is the wrong way to go. So there, as you can see, that step is actually close to the last part of your business journey, because there are criteria that you need to take into consideration to define which legal form you are going to choose to register your business. And those criteria are defined, of course, by the different steps that you already did, such as how many persons are involved in the project. Am I alone, or will it be multiple persons actually in the project? You know that if I am alone, I am free to choose whatever legal form that I want, because it's only me. So I have the choice to choose between a sole proprietorship, or I can choose between a legal, a limited liability registration. But if it's more than one, so therefore I know automatically I can exclude sole proprietorship, because sole proprietorship is only for one person. So therefore I would have to look into the different limit liability registration. Then another criteria is my responsibility. I am an entrepreneur. I'm going to venture, and I'm going to take my case again, because I keep forgetting my study case that is right there. So I want to open my restaurant. Today, I've assessed my financial resources, and why I was doing that. At the beginning, I was alone, but when analyzing doing my financial projection, it seems like, okay, I may have to bring in a shareholder with me. I'll need to bring in an investor with me. And of course, that person might want to be, would want to be a shareholder. So this means that, hey, I can no longer venture into a sole proprietorship, which I was thinking, because I didn't want to go into many formalities. But here, my project is changed since those different steps that I did. So therefore, I need to revamp what I was thinking pertaining to the legal form. Now, my responsibility. How do I want to be responsible? What kind of liability I want to have as a physical person towards this company? Do I want to have 100% liability, or I only want to limit my liability to how much I invest in the business? So that is an important factor. Maybe I have assets that I want to protect, that I absolutely want to distinguish, that I do not want to put at risk in the event that my business is jeopardized and I find myself in debt. I do not want to actually jeopardize that aspect. So therefore, I will rather go in a limited liability registration than go into a sole proprietorship. My financial engagement, this is very much important. If I am going to invest, I'm going to say crazy for my restaurant, I'm going to have to invest more than 10,000. Therefore, that investment represents a big value, and my liability is very much important. So therefore, I would want to secure, of course, that engagement. And if I am going to mobilize, going to request fund finances from the different investors, banking, being in a sole proprietorship actually shows less credibility as to when you are in a limited liability registration. So if you're going to invest a lot of money in your business, going into a sole proprietorship might not be the best solution for you. The social system also needs to be considered, as into if I want to be registered and I want to be affiliated to the Social Security for entrepreneurs, but my personal situation today, I am an employee, but I'm on the general Social Security, and I do not want to be affiliated to any other Social Security. So therefore, I will have to take that into consideration, because right now my Social Security is good for me, and within the business, I do not need no extra Social Security system. So therefore, I would also take that into consideration. And when I'm choosing the legal form that I would probably not choose, in my case, I am for my business, so I will not be going in sole proprietorship, or be going in limited liability registration. So therefore, it will not require that I be affiliated to the Social Security for entrepreneurs. Then partnership, I mentioned this earlier. If I'm going to be partnering, I know that I can already exclude from my selections of choices for choosing a legal form the sole proprietorship, because sole proprietorship is very much explanatory. It's for persons who are going into business alone. The tax system, also something to consider when you're choosing your legal form. Do I want to be paying tax based on my income tax, or I want to be paying tax based on my profit revenues, profit income? So those are elements that you need. Maybe your personal situation, you are married, and you and your spouse, you have, you declare your revenue together. So therefore you might not want to include the business, your revenue pertaining to the business in, so therefore you would not want to venture into that kind of taxation system. So when you're going to choose the legal form, this is also something that you need to consider. Another aspect that you need to consider will be your business activity. Some activities, the legal form is imposed. I will take into consideration if you're taba, as in you're selling cigarettes, or you are a change point also. So your legal form is actually imposed. And for other acts, so other legal form, there are activities also that you cannot conduct under that legal form. So that is also something that you need to consider when choosing your legal form. Then another aspect that you need to consider, okay, I want to go into business, but I don't want to have a lot of paperwork to deal with because I'm not a paper administrative person, and I can't afford right now to pay a professional to deal with my paperwork. So therefore I need to assist. Okay, so therefore, what should I consider? Also, your financial projection, I did not mention that, but it is very much important also that you take into consideration your financial projection. If today your business is going to be making, and we're just saying an amount, let's say it's going to be making 3,000 euro per year, that is definitely something that you want to consider, and that maybe you do not want to go into all of the formalities pertaining to registering a liability registration business, because it requires formalities to register. It requires formalities every year that you have to register your balance sheet, that you have to go to your accountant to get certain documents. So maybe you do not want to venture in that based on the very low revenue of your business. So you need to take that into consideration. And a last part that you need to consider when choosing your legal form is the development and transmission. We see that a lot happening, that a lot of persons today, well, companies were in business in a very long time. When someone passed or they no longer want to continue in the business, it's very hard for them to transmit the business to a family member, a owner. And I said it's difficult. It is not difficult, and it's not difficult and the procedure, but in the formalities, it's kind of difficult. If you know that tomorrow you have, I'm going to give you an example. I have my restaurant. I have children. Tomorrow, I would like to have my children benefit from that restaurant. And if anything happens to me, God forbid, that they're able to step in easily and benefit from and continue the business. I probably would look at, I probably won't want to go into a legal sole proprietorship, because it is a little bit more complicated to actually transmit, as opposed to if you are in a limited liability registration, you can have those articles and the articles of incorporation include that, hey, if something happens to me, that my shares is going to be transmitted to my peers, or also tomorrow you no longer want to continue in the business, you want to sell your shares. It is pretty much easy to do that when you are in a limited liability registration. So you see that choosing the legal form, it's not based on how my friend, how my sister is registered. It's based on your personal situation and also on your project. So this is very fundamental, because every day, today again, I had someone message me, what are the requirements to open a business? It's hard for me to actually provide you with those elements, because I don't have all of the elements that all the ecosystem around your project in order to be able to give you those information. So now that you know that, hey, when I'm going to choose my legal form, I am not going to ask my sister, my cousin, hey, how we register? So I can go register like that. You know that there are important elements that you need to factor in order to choose. Now that we have done all of those steps, so we've been able to, we have our idea, we were able to define our idea with the business model, we were able to do our market analysis, so we know exactly what is our market look like and how we are able to enter the market. We were also able to outline what will be our marketing strategy as a target. Then we were at how we are going to register our business. Now, with all of those elements that we've worked on, we are able to generate our business plan. This evening, I would like to demystify what is a business plan, because a lot of persons feel like, hey, my business plan needs to be 100 pages, it needs to have graphic, it needs to have all kind of information in it, where basically your business model is just a structured document that summarizes your business project. Simply, your business project can be 15 pages, can be 8 pages if it holds an 8 pages, it can be 20, it can be 50, it can be 100, but you should not be destabilized or intimidated by the fact that, hey, putting together a business model, a business plan is, I have to go in the sky and catch the clouds and come down. Absolutely not. The simple steps that I outline, if you work on all of those steps, you are able to generate your business plan. Again, business plan is your roadmap, which is you can communicate to anyone who is interested in your project. And your business plan is going to allow you to be able to evaluate the relevance of your project, your qualities and your asset, present the chosen strategy that you are going to use to develop your business to be able to create value, the objectives that you have to reach, very much important, especially with your financial projection. If you do not know what is your expenses, you do not know what is your goal, how much you have to sell. In my case, if I do not know what is my expenses, I don't know how many plates of foods that I have to sell in order to be able to pay my expenses. So you're doing that, working on your business plan is going to help you to do that. And also it's going to help you to evaluate what all of the means that you need and what you have to implement in order to be able to run your business successfully. So the business plan, what it's going to do, it's going to reinforce your credibility to the credibility of your project and give you more credibility, whether it may be to your bank, whether it may be to an investor, whether it may be to your family also, who may want to invest in your business, but they're telling you, hey, you just have this idea, you just want to open this restaurant, but we don't know if it's going to work because we don't have no concrete information. And this is what your business plan is going to help you. When somebody asks you about your project, you will be able to present your business idea, present it clearly, and it's going to present your idea in a very concise and precise manner. As you all know, today we are in a digital world where everything is happening online. You're able to get all types of information to open your business. Some persons call me and say, hey, I am lost because there's so many information. And building your business plan today has become easy. I remember when I started at the chamber, you needed to contact a consultant, you needed to contact. Today, everything is easy. You're able to build your financial project, define your project, build your business model directly online. And being part of the chambers of commerce on the national level, the chamber actually, the headquarters created an application, which is the Business Builder CCE.fr, which is an application that helps you to build your business plan. So it is defined strategically and methodologically to help you to build all of those information, whether it may be how to do your market analysis, whether it may be to define your marketing strategy. On this application, you are able to do so step by step. How many times it's going to take you? Again, like I mentioned earlier, is going to take the discipline and the determination that you want to dedicate in order to build your business plan quickly. We will be presenting, we will have a presentation, a detailed presentation on the business builder, as into how it can be useful to you, how to use it, the different guides and advice, the different tests. At the beginning, I talk about doing an assessment on yourself. So you have different tests that you can do online, and you will be able from that platform to edit your business plan. And also, part of our project, our business support project, you will be able to request a support to help you to build that project. So we will be presenting that to you next week, actually, the presentation of the business builder. So again, very important, the business plan is not a document that you have to actually be a boss or be an expert. You have application today to help you to build your business plan. So today you should not be afraid. The only drawback with that application, as it was created by, again, a French organization, the application is in French only. However, you can insert your information in English, and when you're going to export your business plan, it will be, well, it will be in English, because of course the information that you provided is in English. The subtitles though are going to be in French, but when you do export it, you can then edit the PDF document and actually put those subtitles, those titles and subtitles, and English, if of course you want to have your business plan in English. And again, if you have some challenges using that platform, the chamber is providing services to help you to use that platform. So do not hesitate. Then the last step of your journey, because now that you have your business plan, I have my business plan for my restaurant. No, I was able to get the different finances to open my restaurant. So I will be able to open my restaurant in a month to come. So I do hope that all of you present on this webinar is definitely going to come to my restaurant. You need to be on the lookout for the website and all the information for my restaurant that is going to be opening in Green Cars. And now I can go and register my business. So as you see, this is the last step, the registration. So you do not register your business as the idea pops up in your head. I have an idea, I go in by the chamber and I'm going to register, or I'm going by the chamber, ask them, what are the requirements? As you can see, there are steps that you need to follow in order to be able to build a very good and strong strategy to be able to conduct your business effectively and develop it effectively. So your registration, what it is, it's the actual process that is going to materialize the creation of your business and give it an administrative birth. It's going to give your business a legal existence, and that is going to allow you to be able to interact with third parties and full compliance. And as we will say, you're going to be legal. So it's going to allow you to open your bank account. It's going to help you to place orders. It's going to help you to get a credit card machine. It's going to help you to start operating effectively and legally. So that's what it is. And where do you come to register? All dependent of your activity. As some of you may know, the chamber is three chambers in one, as opposed to different chambers on the national level. So we are a commercial chamber, a trade chamber, and agricultural chamber. So it means that we are competent to register businesses that have commercial activities, trade activities, and agricultural activities. For persons who have liberal activities, and if they are registering as a sole proprietorship, their registration will have to be done online on your staff, which is an organization of the Social Security. So in order to know where you have to register your business, you will need, of course, to inquire first. The chamber will be your contact point to know where do you have to register your business. So now that I am registered, now that you have all the information to conduct your business success efficiently, are you ready to take the leap for your business? And now we're going to move to the question and answer segment of this part of this evening, of this webinar. And I am going to go in the comment section. For persons who have questions, I will kindly ask you to raise your hand using, of course, the pictogram for that. And I will go and check also to see in the comment sections if there are any questions for me. So, give me 1 minute. I just need to open. So I'm not seeing any hands raised. So I guess no one has questions. It means that I was very clear. It means that I was very clear, but I am seeing in the comment sections that we do have questions. So the questions were sent to me via WhatsApp. All right, so we have one question talking about market analysis. How can we find all these information, competitors, customers, and revenues? As mentioned just now, one of the challenges that we have on the territory is getting data. So you will have to conduct on your own the different surveys pertaining to your competitors. For your competitors, how you can, if you already identify the different, if you already identify your competitors, so nothing stops you actually from approaching them to request, whether it may be their brochure, whether it may be their prices, their price list, or you can simply just go and request for an information pertaining, so you will get those information pertaining to customers. Therefore, you will have to create, you will have to conduct a survey, and in order for it to be as efficient as possible, you will have to conduct it on a very large scale. And again, like I mentioned, data is a problem on the territory. So you can eventually work with different economical reports that was done before. Some of them might be outdated, but unfortunately, this is one of the issues that we're having, and this is something that the chamber is looking into to solve in order to have frequent economical studies done and be able to publish them also. I have another question. In what language should your business plan be? So there isn't any particular language. Well, there isn't no rule about with the language in which it should be. However, if you're going to be approaching French financiers or French French investors, even French funding, you would want to have your business plan in French in order to ensure that they understand all the elements actually that are in your business plan. Another question, difference between sole proprietorship and LLC were unclear to me. Could you please explain? I will not be going into the detail of that. We will have a separate presentation on that, and I believe that will be in 3 weeks, where we will be presenting the legal responsibility, the legal, fiscal, and social responsibilities, and there we will be going into details. However, just to give you I would say a broad explanation, sole proprietorship is actually, if it's considered as a physical person actually. So you and your business, you're creating one. So there's no distinction with you and your business. So that's why I was talking pertaining to liability. Recently, there was a bill that was voted where they made adjustments where now when you register as a sole proprietorship, your principal residence is actually protected, which before it was not. So that's a good thing. And so this means that your primary residence actually is going to be protected, but if you have other assets, all of those can be actually can be in jeopardy in the event that your business finds itself in financial difficulty. However, there are formalities that you can do also, whether it may be by a notary, to ensure to have that the term in English, where you are able to separate actually your personal asset and protect your personal asset if you are registered in a sole proprietorship. So sole proprietorship, it's only you. So that means that you cannot have any partnership. You cannot say, oh, this person is my partner in business. He may be in practice your business partner, but his name will not be anywhere on any document, because sole proprietorship is you and only you, and you and the business are forming one. So what is used to identify, the name that is going to be used to identify, firstly, the business will be your first name and last name, and you will be able to use a commercial name. Now, the difference with the limited liability registration, there is a clear distinction between you and the business. So therefore, it means that your responsibility, therefore, is limited to your investment in the company. So therefore, your personal assets is automatically protected. Another question. Will the presentation be shared? Yes, we will be uploading this presentation on our media, and it will be available in the next coming days. I have another question coming. Please bear with me. They're coming in. Is you recording? I'm verifying to see if I have more questions. I think we're done with questions. Oh no, I do have more questions. Is E and some proprietorship the same? So in terms of proprietorship, you have, well, we had before 3, and one was removed from the legal market, I would say. So, and for sole proprietorship, you have the entreprise individuelle, which is the classic sole proprietorship. And you also have micro-entrepreneur, which is not a legal status, but it's more a social, is more a tax system benefit kind of structure actually, but it's still considered as a sole proprietorship because it's a person physique. I think we have answered all of our questions. I think I have a question by someone. No, so I think that I have answered all of the questions. I am getting information that there are many businesses that conduct, is that a question? There are many businesses that conduct marketing analysis. So yes, so in the event that you need, you also have, I was unable actually to get that information. You have businesses, if you have the means, you can approach a private institution to actually conduct the market analysis for you. What I will do after this presentation, I will gather those information because it's kind of hard. Oh, the person was asking about the possibilities. Yes, you can also, if you already identify, I will do that research, because what happens is that we do not have all of those information, but I will do my best to gather the list of, but again, we are the chamber, so we're not able to do any promotion for private entities, but there are I do know of private institutions who can carry out your study market for you if that is a task that you do not want to deal with. Again, I thank you all for your participation. And continuation, would just like to remind those of you who are here that the chamber is at your disposal. Our aim, of course, is to assist you and provide you with the proper tools for you to start your business. So if you are in the starting stages of your business journey, so we have a training that we propose, a formation entreprendre, which is 32 hours. The next session will be in the beginning of May. You can contact our training department at formation@ccism.com for information and to also sign up. We are also proposing to person also who are seeking information on how to start their business. We are also providing persons with advice and information consultation, 30 minutes free, and that is done only by appointment, and we can also do that online if you do not want to come at the chamber. We can also meet online, and you have to go on our website, of course, to take the appointment on www.ccism.fr. And you also have, well, this is a new service that we're actually launching, and which is part of our framework, a business project that is a business support project that is co-financed by the FSE, which is a personalized business support. And what is that? Is actually one-on-one session with you to help you build your business plan. And the fee for that service is 220 euro. It is normally 1,200 euros, but the fact that this program is being co-financed by European funding, the Social European Fund, so therefore it is at a very reduced cost. So if you're interested in getting that service, you can contact us also at cfr@ccism.com. I am seeing a very important question in the comment section, and I will answer it quickly. Can you keep your CDI at another company and still open your business? I am going to answer yes, you can. However, all depends on the sector. If you are in the private sector, you will have to ensure that in your work contract that there is no article that actually forbids you from having a business. And you also need to ensure that also in your contract that there is no clause of no concurrence actually, and ensure also that the business in which you're venturing is not in direct competition with your employer. And if you are in the public sector, you will first need to get an authorization from the director, the deontology, to first present your project, and they will give you the green light if you can or not open a business accordingly to your contract. So that is said. How many sessions are included in the CFR? So in the CFR, in the business support, you have, I hope I'm not mistaken, I think it's 12 or 16 sessions actually. So there you go. So before I go, I would like to remind you of the upcoming webinars. So on Thursday, this coming Thursday, we have Jean Arnel, Managing Director at Computech, who will be presenting how to design your business model, which we mentioned just now. It's very much important for you to understand how your business is creating value and generating and making money. And then next week, Tuesday, I will be here again. Hopefully I'll be less stressed than I was today. And I will be presenting the digital tools that you have at your disposal to present your business project. And on Thursday, that's next week, Thursday, we're gonna be having Joy Carty, Project Manager, who will be presenting on elaborating your marketing mix. So again, this is a series of webinar. We have 7 sessions in English, and then we will be starting in May with the sessions in French. So of course, if you are in your journey of starting your business, you would want to sit in almost all of the sessions. So if you did not register as yet for the upcoming session, I encourage you to do so as soon as we log off. Again, thank you for attending this evening. I do hope that the information that was shared was valuable and informative, and we see you again on Thursday for how to design your business model. And I'm answering the questions as they are coming in. Yes, you do have to register for every webinar. The links are already up on our website. So again, www.ccism.fr, and you click on the tab webinar FSR, and you're able to register for all of 3 webinars that are actually presented here on this slide. So again, thank you, and do have a wonderful evening.